We are from At Home Tuition. In this video, we are going to see few examples on how to multiply a decimal number with a whole number. So our question is, find the following multiplication of numbers. Let us see one by one. Our first question is 0.2 into 6. So solution. So first step, we have to ignore the decimal point and we have to multiply the two numbers as a whole numbers. So if you ignore the decimal point, 0.2 will become 2. So 2 into 6 is 12. Now we have to represent this 12 as a decimal number without changing its value. So we can write it as 12.0. So in our next step, we want to put the decimal point. How to do that? The number of digits to be counted to put the decimal point is obtained by adding number of digits to the right of the decimal point in the decimal number that are being multiplied. So that means you have to consider the decimal number that are being multiplied and you have to count the number of digits to the right of the decimal point. So in our example, 0.2 is the decimal number, and so after the decimal point towards its right we have only one digit. So we have to take only one digit. Now we have to move the decimal point one digit towards left. So on moving one digit towards left from 12.0, it will be moved in between 1 and 2. So we get 1.20. So the 0.2 into 6 is 1.20. Now let's see the next question. It's 8 into 4.6. So solution. What we have to do? First step, we have to ignore the decimal point and we have to multiply it as a whole number. So if you ignore the decimal point, 4.6 will become 46. So 8 into 46, that is 368. Now write this 368 as a decimal number without changing its value. So that will be 368.0. So next step, we have to place this decimal point at the correct place. So how we will do that? We have to see the given number, and in given decimal number, we have to see how many digits are there to the right of the decimal point. So in our question, we have only one decimal number, that is 4.6. To the right of the decimal point, we have only one digit. So we have to move the decimal point only one digit towards left from 368.0. So if you move one digit to the left, you will get 36.80. So thus 8 into 4.6 is 36.80. Now let's see the next question. It is 2.71 into 5. So solution. First step, we have to ignore the decimal point and we have to consider it as a whole number. So if you ignore the decimal point, then to consider as a whole number, you will get it as 271. So you multiply 271 into 5, which is nothing but 1355. Now write it as a decimal number, that is 1355.0. So next step, you have to place this decimal point at the correct place. So to do that, we have to count how many digits are there to the right of the decimal point in the given question. So in the given question, we have 2.71. So we have 2 digits to the right of the decimal point. So now you have to move the decimal point 2 digits towards left from 1355.0. So if you move 2 digits, 1, 2. So it will be between 3 and 5. So we get 13.55. So thus 2.71 into 5 is 13.55. Now let's see the next question. It is 20.1 into 4. Solution. So first step, ignore the decimal point. So you will get 201 into 4. So if you multiply, you will get 804. Express it as a decimal number. So it is 804.0. Next step, you have to move this decimal point to the appropriate place. So to do that, you have to see how many digits are there in the question to the right of the decimal point. So in your question we have 20.1. So you have only one digit after the decimal point. So you have to move the decimal point only one digit towards left from 804.0. So if you move one digit, you will get it here. So that is 80.40. So thus 20.1 into 4 is 80.40. Next question is 0.05 into 7. Solution. So first you have to ignore the decimal point. So if you ignore the decimal point, you will get 005. So now that is nothing but 5 into 7, that is 35. Express it as a decimal number. So you will get 35.0. Now you have to move this decimal point to the appropriate place as per your question. So now look into the question. In your question, so after decimal point, you have only 2 digits towards its right. So now you have to move this decimal point 2 digits towards left from 35.0. So if you move 1, 2. So your answer is 0.35. So thus 0.05 into 7 is 0.35. Now let's see the next example. That is 211.02 into 4. So solution. First step, you have to ignore the decimal point. So you will get 21102 into 4. So if you multiply, you will get 84408. Express it as a decimal number. So 84408.0. Now you have to move this decimal point to its appropriate place as per the question. So in your question, you have only 2 digits to the right of the decimal point. So you have to move this decimal point 2 digits towards left. So if you move 2 digits, 1, 2, you will have 844.08. So thus 211.02 into 4 is 844.08. Hope you have understood how to multiply the whole number with a decimal number, ignoring the decimal point, multiply it as a whole number. Then you have to move the decimal point to its appropriate place by counting the number of digits to the right of the decimal point in your question. Then you have to move the decimal point towards its left. Thank you for watching this video.